Imagine a world run by females as a genetic testing ground. A world where males are merely a breeding experiment and where females can pick the best genes to pass on to their young, by foul means or fair. In nature, this world exists. The battle of the sexes is a war without end. Tension between males and females exists in almost every species on Earth. At its heart is a raging conflict. Females want to choose their mate. Males want to make sure they're chosen. This has created sexual stereotypes. Passive, gentle females forever trampled by overbearing, macho males. But in reality, many females are far from being the fairer sex. Some can be downright dirty. When it comes to sex, females can be ruthless. They're in total control over when, with whom, and even how they'll have sex. All these females want is sperm. As far as they're concerned, males can come and go. Getting hold of the right white stuff is crucial to many females' strategy for sexual success. They put males through their paces and beyond. Even orgasm isn't the end of it. Now it's the sperm's turn for a rough ride. They have to navigate the ultimate assault course. Female and male genitals are far from a lock and key arrangement. The female reproductive tract is a tortuous obstacle path, which can be incredibly hostile to sperm. It can be argued that its structure and chemical composition is designed to eject the ejaculate and prevent most sperm from achieving their goal: fertilization. To a female, sperm is a foreign body. She controls what gets through and who fathers her offspring. This film looks at the savage power of female sexual choice and how it shaped not only the sexual behavior of many males, but their sexual biology too. To be wanted only for your body might sound like a male fantasy, but the reality can be a nightmare. Being a sex slave to these femme fatale can mean paying the heaviest of tolls. Take one of the most extreme environments on Earth, the North Pole. Producing young with any chance of survival here needs a father with the very best genes on offer, and one who'll fight to prove it. 60,000 square kilometers of Arctic wasteland, battered by savage winds. It's minus 90 degrees. Yet freezing temperatures don't stop all males getting an erection. This bear's so hot for sex, he's boiling. He's 9 years old and still hasn't lost his virginity. There's just one problem: finding a hot date to lose it with. This is one of the most sparsely populated places on Earth. Random sexual encounters are out. This female's ready to mate, but she's over 70 kilometers away. When it comes to sex, female polar bears lie back, relax, and let company come to them. But she has left a subtle come-and-get-me clue, a pungent trail of urine. To a lusty male polar bear, it must be the sweetest smell on Earth. Polar bears have a very slow breeding rate. Females only come into season about once every 3 years. This bear may not get many opportunities to have sex in his lifetime. So it's little wonder he'll go to great lengths to have his first encounter. His quest starts with a grueling day's walk. He travels 30 kilometers and is losing weight, driven by one urge only. But he's about to need all his energy. He's on a collision course with another eager suitor. The rival male might be smaller, but nothing will throw him off the scent. "900 kilograms of muscle tear into each other. This is frozen sperm warfare, a barbaric battle for sex. Meanwhile, the ice maiden they're fighting over idles in the snow. Back at the battleground, the smaller bear's been sent packing. The only thing he'll be licking today are his wounds. The 9-year-old's taken a battering, but sex drives him on, across more and more frozen ice, ploughing forward without food. Even a cold bath fails to cool his ardor. Clambering onto land, he's near exhaustion, but once again he picks up the subtle smell in the snow. In fact, it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But if you think finding a mate is the end to his troubles, you're wrong. It's just the beginning. He's walked 70 kilometers, lost 90 kilograms, been savaged by a rival. And now he's got to perform, constantly. He has to stay up for the job all the time she's in season. Female polar bears are induced ovulators. This means it's the male's thrusting penis which causes her to release an egg. But it could take up to 2 weeks. To help her conceive, he's got a trick up his sleeve. A bone right in the middle of his penis. It's called a baculum, and it doesn't just help to stimulate ovulation. It keeps him hard, however tired he is. But although he doesn't need Viagra, he's about to pay a hellish price. Sex is so violent that his penis bone snaps like a twig. He's been well and truly shafted. He limps away, spent and broken. She's got all she wanted, a fertilized egg. But although she made little effort before or during sex, now she invests everything in her unborn. And the first thing she does is put the baby-to-be on ice. Her body freezes the embryo's development by a method called delayed implantation. The fertilized egg stops growing and lies free-floating in her womb for 4 months. This mother needs time to prepare to be a single parent. She starts a frenzied get fat quick fest. For her pregnancy to succeed, she needs to gain 200 kilos. That means seals, lots of them, and their pups. Eight months later, proof that this frenzy of feeding, fighting, and fornicating was worth it finally arrives. Still to come, an outback orgy goes horribly wrong for a sex-mad marsupial. We see a real femme fatale deliver the love bite from hell. And we expose the topsy-turvy sex secrets of these well-hung hunters. A small furry body decomposes in the Australian bush. A post-mortem would show this little marsupial met with a horrendous end. Clumps of fur have fallen from his body. He was plagued with open sores, anemia, intestinal ulcers, parasites, and he'd suffered a hormonal explosion. His whole immune system collapsed. But what killed him, and will kill all his fellow males? Sex. An Antechinus, a rat-like marsupial, and like all his kind, a loner. But now he's in a sexual frenzy. He's 11 months old, he's reached maturity, and it's the mating season. He's about to copulate, constantly, and it will kill him. His testosterone levels are rising dangerously high. And here's his first date. He might be hard, but she's not soft. Antechinus sex is far from tender. It's savage. Males bite and claw, females kick, roll and hiss. He's equipped for the job. His testicles are much larger than other marsupials his size. It can take a 12-hour sex session before the sperm does its job. But even after this marathon bout of mating, our Lothario is far from satisfied. It's straight back to business, searching for more sex. And more sex. And more sex. He just keeps on coming and going, and coming again. But you can't survive solely on sex. He's completely stopped eating. Stress hormones strip his body of protein and fat, triggering the complete breakdown of his immune system. He's signed his own death warrant, with sperm. And he's not alone. Every male who mates meets the same gruesome end. But why are they quite so desperate for sex? Many females die while weaning, so the more females a male has sex with, the greater the chance at least one will survive to raise his young. And there's another twist. If the males live to see a second season, there's the possibility they might mate with their own daughters. Maybe it's nature's way of stopping inbreeding. Sex does ensure the next generation of Antechinus, but it wipes out an entire generation of males. Although some creatures make the ultimate sacrifice to produce offspring, other species have sex on tap without risking death on the job. If ever there's a role reversal of stereotypical male and female sex drive, this is it. All across the tropics, some nimble birds are also having an orgy. This is swinging, Jacana style. And it's the leggy ladies who are set on mating with as many males as they can. It's non-stop sex. The males seem happy to oblige, but although they're only half the size of their partners, they've got more than twice the work to do. Jacanas aren't like most birds. In their world, it's a man's work which is never done. Fathers have to provide a lot more than sperm. They're left home alone to build and defend nests, brood eggs, and raise their chicks. Meanwhile, mothers take a lover. And another. And another. Sometimes they'll have sex with 4 males in an hour. But there's more to this neighborhood than swinging marsh birds. Predators are everywhere. And at the first sight of danger, this fearless father runs away. However, this is cunning, not cowardice. At a safe distance from his chicks, he flips out. It's a well-rehearsed trick, the broken wing display. He now looks small, defenseless, and a very easy target. But once he's distracted the danger away from the nest, Dad turns on his heels and heads back to his pad. Meanwhile, Mother's busy with a neighbour. In a single season, she may have as many as 30 partners. This environment demands such sexual shenanigans. Only a quarter of her eggs will actually hatch, and of these, only about 60% of the chicks will survive. The rest are lost to predators and the rising waters. These odds force females to spread their favours. They've no time for any other responsibilities. The genes for the female Jacana's endless pursuit of sex will be passed down to successive generations. But there is a society which is much more ritualized and ruthless in its sexual vision. And it's presided over by what seems to be one of nature's ultimate control freaks. Welcome to the twilight world of Naked Mole Rat Incorporated, the world's strangest underground sex factory. Their business, making babies. Competition is tough, and the boss is a force of nature, a female never to be argued with. There's up to 300 positions available in her factory. Applicants must be tiny, bald, and look like a frazzled hot dog. And it helps to be related to the boss, for this is a family business, and in her company, sons can be lovers too. She has a harem of approximately 3 sons. who are required to supply sperm whenever mother says so. And she's very demanding. This queen is a non-stop mole rat making machine. New litters of 12 to 37 pups arrive every 80 days. Although the queen nurses her young for a month, they start eating solids after 2 weeks, and it's quite literally a crap diet. They feed on the workers' feces. Bad though it may sound, for baby mole rats, feces is organic, pre-digested superfood, a source of nutrition and bacteria to protect their stomachs. The remaining members of the colony are kept busy finding food, maintaining the home, defending the burrow, and tunneling. But they have no time for sex. They never get the chance to spread their genes because their queen has decreed it. She keeps the workers' sexual instincts at bay with a pheromone in her urine. It seeps throughout the colony's burrows. The workers don't just relish it, they wallow in it. The queen's pheromones suppresses female sex hormones, male testosterone, and sperm levels. With their sex drive stuck in neutral, the workers seem to embrace their lot. And they contribute more to the future of mole rat kind by helping the queen care for her offspring than they ever would by reproducing themselves. Their choice of home helps this social system work. The maze of tunnels is a safe haven. They are left alone to live, breed, and expand their bizarre, inbred family business. When you're after sex, picking the right time to make your move can be crucial. Particularly if this is the object of your affections. This female is one of the deadliest dates in the world. Female praying mantises have an insatiable appetite. And not just for food. There's no such thing as safe sex for a male praying mantis. The right position has never been so important. Male mantids often mount females from behind. Here they should be safe from grasping legs, bites, or worse. In theory. The missionary position is a big gamble. Trying to see eye to eye with these females can be very risky. Mantids are visual predators and often eat anything that moves. So this male's approach couldn't be more cautious. He's taking things slowly, very slowly. He moves no faster than ½ centimetre an hour. He gets closer and closer and closer until he's almost face to face. So far, so good. Perhaps she can see what his intentions are. So he takes the plunge and makes it onto her back. But she seems to have other ideas, A little foreplay. She gives him a love bite, and it's the worst one imaginable. She starts to eat his head. If she wanted a blind date, she's got one. Being eaten alive would put most males off sex, but not mantids. Far from it. Instinctively, he manages to flip what's left of his body back on top of her. And he manages to get down to business. He's completely lost his mind, quite literally. Male mantids have nerve centers located in various parts of their bodies. So when he loses his head, he loses his inhibitions. His genitals take charge, and he has sex like there's no tomorrow. He continues to thrust until the last drop of semen has been squeezed from his remains. As he wanders away, spent, empty and decapitated, at least he's given his unborn children a head start. His. The female cleans herself up. She's had sex and supper, a nutritious meal to sustain her and help their offspring develop. For her, the date's been a complete success. Still to come, customers cause chaos at an open-air sex show in the Indian grassland. And the hard facts. Why are two penises on a crash collision course? Even good old-fashioned courtship can be a killer. In an Indian grassland, it's baking hot and getting hotter by the minute. But it's not just the sun that's getting these males hot and bothered. They're thirsty. They're hungry. But they're glued to their seats. They're waiting for showtime. They've staked their claim to patches of land with dung, urine and scent dribbled from glands under their eyes. This was an ordinary field. Now it's an arena. Patrolling their borderlines should stop others trying to steal space. But if it doesn't, things can turn nasty. Latecomers have to run a gauntlet to try and find a pitch. All this in temperatures approaching 40 degrees. What could be worth this torture? The opposite sex. In a nearby meadow, a group of showgirls are getting ready. A herd of female blackbuck. They're about to come into season and will soon be looking for Mr. Right, but they're very choosy. These females have the luxury of grazing, drinking what they want, and taking shelter from the heat. For now. A lone male tries a different approach and heads straight into the group. But these females are looking for a male who can hold his own territory. They ignore the drifters' advances. They're gearing up for showtime. And this audience won't be hard to impress. As the sirens arrive, they check out the crowd, then start their routine. lust-crazed males watch, wait, and hope. But these females only want sex with the best, the biggest, the strongest. They're searching for Superbug. Fights break out in the stalls. A male tries his chances. But this female doesn't like what she smells. Finally, in the center of the field, the best seat in the house, she finds the male she wants, and she's about to drive him crazy. The buck stops here. She teases and tempts him, but she doesn't let him get too close. Not yet. This frantic flirting can last up to an hour. So maybe it's no surprise that with this amount of frenzied foreplay, the climax is hardly ever there to remember. The show's over, for him. Such females want their males to prove that they're the best equipped to father young. And for them, big does equal best. But does size matter to all females? Meet the hard man of the South American forest floor, the male Goliath tarantula. A huge and deadly predator. He's got the fangs to kill and the poison to paralyze. But when being hard really counts, he's a softie. This tough guy's no lady killer, far from it. He hasn't just got a small penis. Like most male spiders, he hasn't got one at all. By the time he's 2 years old, he's shed his skin several times and turned from brown to black. After his final molt, he's ready for sex. But lacking the familiar equipment for the job, how's he going to manage it? Unlike most spiders, tarantulas don't spin webs to catch prey. Males spin them to catch their own sperm. This lean-to sheet of silk will act as a sperm sponge. Crawling under his web, he presses his testicles up against the threads and ejaculates. He then crawls to the top and sucks up his semen with syringe-like appendages called pedipalps. Now, carrying his own fresh seed, he sets off on his first date. What female could resist such a gift? This one. She's older and she's deadly. She's scent-marked the silk in her burrow with pheromones. And sure enough, they work. She's winding him in. But what for? Tarantulas have very weak eyesight. The hairs on her body vibrate as he approaches, but not necessarily because she's sexually excited. Vibrations are a tarantula's way of hearing. So he's treading carefully. She seizes the initiative. But does she want to greet him or eat him? It still isn't clear. He has backup, small mating hooks on his front legs. If he's lucky, they'll help him push her body into the right position to have sex. If he's not, they're primed to grab her fangs and hopefully save his life. Tentative caresses seem to be subduing her, but there's no guarantee. He needs to push her body up and deliver his gift as quickly and carefully as possible. Now he feels around for her reproductive slit, and there's no time for fumbling. He puts his pedipalps inside her and releases his sperm from the bulbs. It's a most unlikely orgasm, and as soon as it's over, he's off. Around 50% of males are killed by their partners, either during or after sex. This femme fatale heads back to her burrow. Soon, she'll have young to care for. She may live for another 15 years and have many more males arrive bearing gifts of sperm. If her lover's lucky, he'll have sex 2 or 3 more times, but shortly after that, he'll die. Female tarantulas can eat their mates, but at least they stand a chance of escape. Not all males do. Lurking on the seabed is living proof of just how powerful an evolutionary force females can be. Someone who's got her males just where she wants them. Beneath the waves of the Mediterranean, this female's having sex. Not with one male, but with up to 20, all at the same time. And we can't see any of them. This is a female Bonellia worm. Her body is only the size of a mobile phone, but her proboscis can grow to over 1 meter in length. It's used for feeding, houses her brain, and it casts a bizarre sexual spell. Beside her are her fertilized eggs. But when they hatch, their sex is undecided. Any larvae which drift into coral cracks or land on the ocean floor develop into females. However, any which land on the female's proboscis are sucked in. A chemical secretion called bonolin makes them turn into males, who migrate to her uterus. Up to 20 of her sons can live in her body, each 200,000 times smaller than their mother. And she has ultimate control over what they do. She's only got one request, that they have sex with her whenever she wants. Male Bonellia worms seem to be nothing but a testicle. Their mouths are only used to release sperm. Female Bonellia worms call the shots. Rather than make males come looking for them, why not create your own? Keep them where you want them, and get what you want, whenever you want it. Sex on demand. Still to come, swinging with the sisters, the brutal rules of hyena sex. It's a whole new ballgame. Some females are after more than sex. They want more than equal rights. They want to beat males at their own game. And they take them on, every inch of the way. Africa's plains are among the most macho places on Earth. They're testosterone-fueled battlefields. swaggering males scrap and fight for food, and for the right to mate. In the thick of this maelstrom, few animals can mix it up like the hyena, or seem as mixed up as the hyena. Late afternoon, a group of spotted hyena take it easy after a meal. The day's hot, the family relaxed. The head of the clan swaggers past, bristling with testosterone. Its penis swings low and proud. With its confident rolling gait, this is one cocksure killer. But this well-hung hunter has a secret. He is a she. This is the queen of the swingers. Her huge member, which many males would be proud to bear, is in fact a clitoris. A closer look at this family reveals there's not a male member in sight. This family is a sisterhood, a fierce one. These females are some of the most masculine in the world. Sniffing reinforces family bonds, and there's no smell on earth quite like this. At the fetal stage, female hyenas come into contact with high levels of male hormones, and it causes more than hair on their chest. These low-slung clitorises are even capable of an erection. To add to the confusion, they also have a scrotum-like sac, bulging with fat and tissue. It's covered with a thicker thatch of hair than that on a male's testicles. With no external vagina, they urinate, mate, and give birth through a canal running down the center of this shaft. Males skulk in the background, subservient, servile, and scared. These females are bigger, heavier, and take them on at their own game. They dominate males in almost every situation, even hunting. Females lead the chase. Once the prey has been brought down, females feed first. It's an intense scramble for food. So when it comes to sex, it's not surprising males are cautious. Very cautious. Timidly, they paw the ground to show their submission. At the first flash of bared teeth, they flee. If the response is calmer, they creep closer and risk a sniff to see if the female's in season. Privates are now on parade as the couples size each other up. If the male passes this measure, now comes the really tricky part. Sex itself. Two penises are on a collision course, and it's not easy to cock it up. This is the one time females can't be the hard man. Strong retractor muscles let the female roll her shaft up like a shirt sleeve and create an entrance of sorts. He now has her whole attention, but filling in the details demands trial and error. Patience and prods. Jabs and pokes. And a quick getaway, after ejaculation. If sex was awkward, giving birth through a penis really stretches the point. It's a nightmare. The clitoris usually tears during birth, leaving a large wound which can take weeks to heal. And that's the lucky mothers. Up to 20% die delivering their first cubs. So why do the females put themselves through this pain? Many reasons have been suggested. To prevent rape, to confuse, mimic, and even prevent infanticide by males. But nobody knows for sure. It's one of the great mysteries of the sexual world. Female choice exists to screen males, to get the best sperm and the best genes. Their reproductive success relies on making the right choice. Many males are exactly what females want them to be. The trials of strength, endurance, even death that females put males through are life insurance for their young. These males are merely a sperm bank. In the world of wild sex, evolutionary power lies with nature's femme fatales.